Hey Lisa, hey everybody. Hey, so I'm Dave Ward, and Lisa asked me to talk about some of the really cool stuff we're doing in broadcast production right now. And I'm really pumped up about it. So, what we've built is not only being able to take the usual normal way that broadcast engineers have tried to create the way to capture from cameras and microphones and then produce a sporting event out of it. What we've done is taken that architecture and we've replaced the underlying networking technology from SDI to IP and built it on our data center equipment and computers. We can bring in GPUs as necessary. And what's really, really cool is that the entire ecosystem of broadcast production, which is a whole bunch of physical appliances, some do transcoding, some do encoding, some do add insert, some put the yellow line across the NFL football game. All this stuff is extremely cool, and we virtualized it. We can put it on bare metal computers, we can put it on hypervisors, we can put it on containers. And it's really, really cool because what this means is that by using this data center equipment, you can flexibly rearrange the pipeline that you want to create this broadcast sporting event. Also using data centers, it means that you no longer need to have a studio inside a stadium. You don't have to bring those big 18-wheeler trucks that sit outside the stadium for every event. Simply by having the capture devices sitting there taking pictures of the game or whatever it is, you can take those cameras, backhaul it over a piece of fiber to a regional data center on Cisco equipment that's been virtualized. You can actually completely create that broadcast production of that sporting event live. And so what we've been focusing on, in addition to that, is being able to do this across multiple clouds. And so the interesting part of doing this, not only multi-technology, is being able to orchestrate those workflows across multiple clouds. And what I mean by that is, if you have some of the processing inside the stadium or in the truck and in the regional data center, and potentially even in the affiliate studio, the person who's actually delivering the news on the sporting event, you can tie all those together and orchestrate them together. So to build this, in our data center equipment, we had to build or partner with a company that builds the SDI to IP conversion, so that way you can use the age-old coax cable going to the cameras and put those directly into our Ethernet switches. We had to put some features into our Ethernet switches for timing and to be able to do load engineering that wasn't available there before. And that's what enabled us to be able to do live broadcast productions on this data center equipment. Additionally, we had to incorporate certain features onto the UCS. In particular on the UCS, we had to use this technology called VPP, vector packet processing. And what that means is, and what we were trying to do, is to be able to, again, in that SDI to IP conversion, take an SDI stream coming out of the camera, convert it to IP, process it through the workflow, again, transcoding it, doing quality control, doing add insert, placing the yellow line in the football game, or whatever happens in these sports. And we had to then be able to get it back out again into an SDI pipeline. And so we had to build VPP, which actually had a specific packet pacer to meet the specifications and requirements. Part of the interesting thing with these requirements is this organization called SMPTE has this incredibly long list of how to do video broadcast production over IP. And it was said that IP could never do it. And we busted all those myths. There's not a single requirement that we haven't met or exceeded. And so therefore, there's nothing that prevents any broadcaster from using our equipment and our technology, both hardware and software, to be able to build a live production case. What we're really going for with the rest of our portfolio that does distribution and playout is really doing the complete thing from glass to glass, from camera to some kind of viewing display. And by doing this, we're able to fundamentally tune, optimize, and create the ultimate environment for creating a broadcast production. So although I didn't go into great depth in this conversation, I'm incredibly excited. It's completely moved the industry forward by a couple of years, because literally before the team got into this, it was only ever talked about that they could use IP. It was only ever talked about that they could change the ecosystem of hardware appliances and make those into virtual appliances. But we've proven through a couple of years of work, hard work, that in fact that entire workflow can be virtualized and can be multi-cloud. And by doing that, we're able to fundamentally change how things are done glass to glass. So although real quickly, Lisa, I just wanted to tell you that quick story, about some of the technology used to build those broadcast production workflows.